Well, it may be a popular snack you've had once or twice, or maybe you're a huge fan, but what if I told you that a Michigan State grad is behind some of the very latest Cheez-It flavors that you may have purchased at the store? I'm joined in studio tonight by Brett Brothers. He is the product development scientist for Kellanova, formerly Kellogg. Brett, thanks so much for being here tonight. I saw this story that MSU had put out kind of highlighting you as an alum, and I said, we got to talk to this guy. What a cool job. Let's bring it back to your time at MSU. What did you study that sort of led you up to this career path?
Sure, yeah, well, thank you so much for having me. So I went to Michigan State and I studied food science as my background, and so that entails chemistry, some engineering principles. We have a course on sensory science, so we learn how to taste and how to accurately, be able to describe what we are enjoying, and then also test some of those as well. And then there's also a bit of some engineering and mathematic principles involved as well, but that one's not my favorite part of the job, to be honest with you.
And so was the job you have now, was this sort of what you were after as far as studying, those concepts?
Yeah, absolutely. Growing up in the area, I'd always wanted to work at Kellogg, which is now Kellanova. It was very close to where I grew up as a kid and was really the place that I thought that I wanted to spend my career at, and so I'm super honored to be doing that now. It's really cool to see it all come full circle like that.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a job that obviously exists, but that maybe a lot of people aren't necessarily familiar with which how we actually get these products on the shelves that we're eating at home, how those are created and designed and crafted. You've played a role in several flavors of Cheez-Its. Can you talk to us a little bit about the ones that you've worked on in the last few years?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So a couple of the ones that I have worked on recently would be, we did a partnership with Wendy's on a Baconator flavored one. We had one that came out this spring, which was USA flags and stars for the 4th of July, Memorial Day kind of season. A couple of the other ones that would come to mind would be, I did a duos flavor, so there's 2 flavors in one box. That one was pesto and mozzarella. That was a fun one. And then I did some work as well on some extra crunchy ones. So there's an extra crunchy Cheez-It, and then there's also an extra crunchy snapped variation as well. So I worked on those 2 as well in my time.
Yeah, and we got a picture of you there, obviously, with the product we're talking about. Okay, so when it comes to your role in, obviously getting those on the shelves, what are you actually doing at work that is playing a part in this? Kind of break that down for us.
Yeah, absolutely. So I work, it's not just me, right? We have a team of folks that I would be partnering with. So our work with our brand and marketing folks, and they'll say, hey, we have this really great idea to do a Cheez-It that might be this type of a flavor. So then I'll take that and say, okay, based on that, I think let's maybe explore a couple of these different options, and then I'll work with some of our suppliers and say, this is what we're after. Send me some prototypes, and then from there we kind of just refine in on what we're after, and it goes from there. And then we'll go from maybe very small scale in our building to full scale production in one of our production plants.
How long does it take, and maybe it's different each time, but when you're, from a concept, from a branding perspective, hey, let's put out, the Wendy's Baconator Cheez-It, to actually, okay, I can go to Meijer and buy that. What does that look like, that process?
Yeah, I would say that it would probably be about a year. That particular one was a little bit different, though, because we had to work directly with Wendy's to get their approval. Yeah. As opposed to just our own internal approval, which actually I think was a bit more fun because I got to work with some of the folks on the Wendy's brand. So that was really fun as well.
Very cool. Yeah. Okay, and we were talking about this before our interview started, but I mean, are you tasting Cheez-Its on a daily basis at work? Is that an everyday thing for you? Like how many Cheez-Its are you having in a day?
That's a great question. That's a really good question. I have my doctor's appointment tomorrow, so I probably shouldn't say it, but I can't stop eating them, to be honest with you.
Which is kind of crazy that you don't, maybe you hold off or whatever. You love them.
Yeah, I've got them. I mean, my desk is full of them. We have an open space in our building where you can just go and grab, a bowl, and I have to stop myself sometimes from going down there just because it's something I grew up with as a kid. We always had them on like road trips.
Yeah, I mean, so many families do.
Yeah, so I mean, completely normal in that regard, I guess. I guess maybe I just have a bit more access than most people to the crackers. So. Yeah.
And so a lot of what you're doing, as I think you were kind of just explaining, is sort of refining, from an idea to something that actually is going to taste good and a lot of people are going to like. Can you give any more specifics there on just like, okay, how we tweak flavors maybe, or make something a little more authentic to what the brand may be going for?
Yeah, that's a really, really good question. And so a lot of that will be partnering with our, our suppliers who are going to be supplying us some of those flavors and some of those other things. They're really, really skilled. So I'll write a brief for them and say, this is what I'm after. And then we'll all try it together. And, sometimes we'll say, we missed on this one, but this, other prototype is really good. Let's blend them together, or, something like that. So oversimplifying it some, but, we have we'll call it like a standard that we're trying to hit, right? So for the Wendy's Baconator, well, that's a pretty easy one. We bought Baconators and tried it and said, okay, it tastes like this, 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 and this.
How do we turn it into a Cheez-It?
Exactly. How do we make that work? So we always have kind of a target in mind, and we all work towards getting as close to that as we possibly can.
Very cool. And kind of bringing it back to obviously going to school here in Michigan. Obviously, it's one of our iconic schools here in the state. How much do you credit, your education at MSU to where you are today, career-wise?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I would say I would be extremely complimentary of my time at Michigan State. The classes set you up for success. The professors want you to do well, but they also want you to learn what you need to learn so that you can take that outside of the classroom and apply it to your actual career. So in my opinion, Michigan State set me up for success really strongly in that regard. And so, I didn't really know that this was a field until I started looking into it. And I would encourage anybody who's interested in it to at least look into it, because people are always going to need to be eating, so there's always going to be a job market. So it's been good for me so far.
Okay, and are you Cheez-It exclusive? Do you also work on other things, or are you just a Cheez-It guy?
Just Cheez-It, yeah. Just Cheez-It now.
I mean, there's so many flavors that I'm sure it keeps you busy.
I know. Starting to venture a little bit, too, into some of the Pringles side as well, but right now it's all Cheez-It that you find in the store.
All right, well, I hope your doctor's appointment goes well tomorrow.
Oh, I shouldn't
Maybe
have said
don't
that.
send them the interview from today.
I will tell them.
But thanks so much for coming in. Such a cool job. Again, MSU grad, Brett, thanks so much for being here
Thank you for having
and
me.
walking us through this really unique career path. We are going to take a quick break.